Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Real, bringing you a Friday edition to the show. Now, we were going to cover some new and more, I guess, fun topics of sports, but unfortunately, all the sports critics and all the sports personnel and all the sports hosts and radio hosts that deal with sports just keep bringing up these old subjects, and it just burns my hide, and I have to bring them up in our own show. So what we're going to be talking about today is some stuff going on in the NFL and in the NCAA world of college football. Starting out with NFL, we had Monday Night Football where Andrew Luck took his team from a 14-point deficit to overcome that and win the game. Now, Tennessee has been playing really well, and they really came out and took this game right off the start. It looked like the Colts were a little sluggish, and man, I have to tell you, their running back, Trent Richardson, I thought when he came to the Colts that he was going to be a star. I thought he was going to shine, and he was going to pick that team up and really take them over the edge, and he hasn't quite done that. He's actually averaging only about 2 yards a carry, which I could probably get 2 yards a carry in the NFL line. That's just basically falling forward. But they did give up a first-round pick for Trent Richardson, so he's going to have to really start, especially because I feel this team is going to win their division and make it to the playoffs. He's going to have to step up his game. But the Colts are looking really good, and Andrew Luck, I have to say, when I hear this guy talk, it gets on my nerves, just like Peyton Manning. And I have nothing bad against the guys, but I have to say, hearing these guys talk, it sounds like, oh my gosh, where are these guys from that they talk like that? It's amazing. But anyway, they did really well, so the Colts are just chugging along. And then Sunday Night Football, the game of the year, I think. It's going to be Kansas City against the Denver Broncos. Now, right now the Denver Broncos are favored, I believe, by 7 or 8 points. That is ridiculous. The team, Kansas City, is 9-0, people. And everyone keeps saying, and we've been saying it over and over for all the shows, for whatever reason, sports people in the world just want to get down on Kansas City and say, well, they really haven't beat anybody. That's why we're going to make them an 8-point underdog against the Broncos. We're going to go out on a limb here. We're going to say we expect Kansas City to win that game outright. Not just by the point spread, but outright. And they need to, so that way they can shut up all these people and all these skeptics that are on Kansas City, because Kansas City is stout. They're stacked. They got a great defense, and their offense is right. They're just a balanced team. And their quarterback has a chip on his shoulder because he got kicked to the curb last year by San Francisco 49ers. So Alex Smith, you better take that team and take them to the promised land. And right now, that's just beating Denver in Denver. So that's going to be an interesting game as well. Now, there's some big debates right now in the NFL, like who is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Well, you could go with your Tom Brady, and you can go with your typical Drew Brees, and then you can go with your Peyton Mannings, and all these are great. But these guys are expected to be great. They've been great for so many years. That's not the challenge. I look at these young quarterbacks. I look at these new quarterbacks who are making waves, making names for themselves. Russell Wilson, come on, folks. This guy took a team that was irrelevant, probably wouldn't be anywhere, and is actually for this season and last season made them relevant and a great team. Look at what's going on with Colin Kaepernick. 5 wins in a row, folks. Now, we do know that he's not playing out of his mind like he was last year, but he's won 5 straight games. He's looking better, and the guy has stability. The guy doesn't get hurt all the time. As in Michael Vick. Michael Vick is done, folks. I hate to say it, but Vic, you're going to be lucky to be a backup next year because you get hurt every freaking time you go on the field. It's just ridiculous, and I feel bad because I am a Michael Vick supporter and I'm a Michael Vick fan. But getting back to where we were, I look at some of these young quarterbacks as some of the elite and the cream of the crop right now. You've got to give Andrew Luck his due. He took a team that won 2 games or some ridiculous number like that before he got there, and now this team is going to their 2nd playoff year, and hopefully will make it deep into the playoffs. Andrew Luck is the real deal. Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick. These guys are making the moves, and they're young. These are young guys that normally wouldn't even be playing. If this was 10 years ago, these guys would be holding clipboards behind some other starter, some other veteran. But because now we're in the year and the NFL of right now, get these guys, put them in right now, they are producing, they are making their teams better. So we're going to go throw those guys into the mix, give them an opportunity. Because let's face it, folks, if you were looking at a Peyton Manning situation, the guy's one blow away from a broken neck. One blow, one serious hit. Now, we're not trying to say, we want Peyton Manning to get hurt. But let's face it, he's one good lick for being injured for the rest of the year, maybe his career. And let's go on further to say this. Right now, they're getting on Kansas City, or they're expecting Kansas City to hit him low, to take his knees and his ankles out, because he's already got quote-unquote light injuries or sprains to his ankles. And then everyone's like, oh, up in arms because that's not fair, that's not right. Where the hell are these guys supposed to tackle quarterbacks? You can't go high, so you can't tackle them high. If you hit them around the knees, that's a penalty and a freaking $50,000 fine. Now you're going to tell me that they can't even tackle the guys at the ankles? I'm telling you folks right now, I am getting so fed up with the NFL. I mean, where can you tackle somebody nowadays? You can't do crap. You're telling me running backs can't lower their heads and deliver a blow if they are out of the tackle box? I mean, and I'm getting a little off course here because the NFL is just frustrating me. But Peyton Manning, I don't care if they go at his ankles. That's a legal hit. If they tackle him and grab him at the ankles, what's wrong with that? That's playing football. You get them down by any means necessary. These quarterbacks of today are just, we might as well put flags on them. And I told you that, and I expressed that feeling about 3-4 weeks ago on one of our shows. It won't be long before quarterbacks have flags, and that's how you get to the quarterback. Pull their flag, and they're down. There's no tackling them, there's no getting any kind of physical contact. It's going to be yanking a flag, quarterback's down, and that's it. It seems like that's where we're headed, because quarterbacks, I swear to God, they are so whiny and bitchy and crying. Peyton Manning going on about his knees or his ankles, and that, he wants referees to start throwing more flags and more penalties because they're going at him low. Give me a freaking break. Where else can you tackle these guys? I'm done with that. Moving on, NCAA news. I am sick and tired of hearing how Johnny Manziel and all these other quarterbacks are so far ahead of A.J. McCarron in the Heisman Trophy win. How is that possible? A.J. McCarron is going to win another national championship. He's played for the toughest coach in the NCAA for over probably 10 years, and they're going again, like I said, for a third national championship. And if I'm not mistaken, he also got one with a previous quarterback as his freshman. So the guy's going to have 4 national championships under his belt. Give the guy some credit. Give the guy some due. So what he doesn't go out and get in trouble. So what he doesn't cause everyone to look at him under the limelight. He's a team player. He doesn't get in trouble. This guy is your perfect specimen when you want to create an NCAA athlete, a player. Plays by the rules, stays within the team guidelines, puts team before self. And you have all these players who aren't winners. Who cares if they throw for 4,000 yards? What did they win? Did they win a national championship? No. You know why? Because A.J. McCarron has won them for the last 3 years, because he's gonna. So give the guy some credit. Give him his dues, his props. He is the Heisman Trophy winner for 2013, bar none. Don't care what any other expert or professional, whoever says, he is the Heisman Trophy winner 2013. Now, let me get off my soapbox. Hey, we got some crowd looking in through the window. See, everyone likes to come to and check out the new show. Everyone wants to get involved. We get new sponsors every day, so we're really excited about that. Speaking of sponsors, we got the Player Zone. Hooks us up with the house, gives us all our stuff to do our filming, and we can't say enough about them. I mean, you're talking Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and they hold weekly Friday night tournaments. what else can you say? Sports memorabilia, sports cards, and Golden Age comics. We're not talking just Silver Age. Golden Age. You're talking from the 40s and 50s, folks. If you have any gifts needs, especially Christmas is coming up, hit the Player Zone, 2117 Sudrith, Unit 15, and check them out. I think you'll find it's a pretty cool little spot. We also got to thank Right On Time Air and Delivery Service. Couldn't do it without them. They've been with us since the beginning. And then also our new sponsors, Pine Springs RV and Campground. Yeah, I mean, once the weather, and it's a beautiful day today, they're out there on Highway 70. You've got to hit them up on the in the Downs heading towards Roswell, the last business on the highway. You can't miss them. They're great. And then Freestyle Jewelry and Freestyle Productions, who were all teamed up together for the No Bully Zone and Why Bully Be a Friend campaign. We are trying to get bullying out of Lincoln County. We don't want it not only here, we don't want it in our world, we don't want it anywhere in our country. Bullying is ridiculous, senseless, and it's just time to get it to stop. But we're going to go ahead and go to our wrap-up, and our wrap-up concerns the UFC. If any of you missed the fight last weekend, Victor Belfort, man, this guy is the Phenom. That's right, that's his nickname. And we have to say he is phenomenal. 3 in a row leg kick knockouts, and one on this last one was Dan Henderson, never been knocked out in his career. Bam! It was basically almost like a knee or a shin right to the chops. Took him down and then just ground and pounded him, and they stopped the fight. First round TKO. It was amazing. And I have to say, again, Silva needs to win this next fight. If he does win this fight, they will probably right away instigate or call for a Silva Weidman number 3, which will happen right away. I expect that to happen within if Silva could pull this victory off, which he should, no problem. Within 3 to 4 months, they'll have Silva Weidman 3, and then, bam, we will get ready for the super fight with Victor Belfort against Anderson the Spider Silva. But I'm telling you right now, Silva's looking good, he's looking confident, and that's the way he needs to go into this fight. Not only that, but Victor Belfort, people are getting up in arms saying that he's on steroids, that's why he doesn't fight in the United States. That's not true. He fights there because he draws the crowds. When they fight in Brazil, he's the main draw. Why wouldn't you want the main draw in that particular arena? And that's where he is. That's who he is, Victor Belfort. He pumps up Brazil. So, as Dana White has said, Victor Belfort could fight anywhere in the United States, even in Las Vegas, which a lot of people claim he can't. And we'll leave it at that until he gets busted for something. I'll have to admit, the guy looks retarded. I'm talking his abs have abs on top of his abs. He looks amazing. He looks better than he ever has before. And I'm telling you what, his speed is outrageous. Not with only his fists, which he's known for. His legs are the most dangerous thing right now on that man. So excited to see some UFC, and we can't, again, end of December. I believe it's around the 20th or something like that. Silva Weidman 2, Silva Revenge is what I'm going to call it. But for right now, folks, I think that's it. I got off my soapbox because, my gosh, it gets so frustrating, excuse me, to listen to all these people talk and talk. Oh, and one last thing before we go. Let your kids play sports, people. There's no way in the world. I will go and do the research myself for Tuesday's show. Mark my words. I will have the numbers, percentages, and total numbers of the youth of America that play Pee Wee and Pop Warner football that have got concussed or that have had serious injury by playing Pee Wee or Pop Warner football. Because I believe it is a small number, if any, significant number, and I believe it's very far and few between that any children get hurt playing in these Pop Warner and Pee Wee football. So parents, stop being so mind controlled by America and all these athletes that are coming out and saying, oh, I wouldn't let my kids play football. And who cares if freaking Bob Costas comes out and says he wouldn't let... Who the hell is Bob Costas? Really? I mean, it's one thing to have a NFL player with the quality. I mean, Kurt Warren, he came out and said he wouldn't allow his kids to play. That's fine. That's Kurt Warren's right. I don't see how he could say that, because if it wasn't for football, his family would still be living in a shack or in a hut, and he'd be still freaking packing groceries. So for him to be like that and say that is totally, to me, hypocritical. But that's fine. He's an athlete. He played the game. I haven't. So I'll respect his opinion. But the thing I won't respect is someone saying that they can't allow their kids to learn a sport at a time when it's the least dangerous. Pee-wee and Pop Warner, you're talking kids that don't have the speed or the power to generate concussion blows. Now, let's just break this down, and then I'm going to let you all go and enjoy your weekend. I bet you there are more children that get injured on the playground of their school, their playground of their elementary, junior high, whatever. I'm guaranteeing you, and I'll make a bet. Don't know what it'll be. Maybe I promise never to get on my soapbox for the rest of the month or something like that. But I'm going to promise you, I can almost bet that there are more children that get hurt in everyday activities, whether it's PE, playground activities, than do in playing Pee-wee or Pop Warner football. And I'm going to prove that on Tuesday's show with the numbers. So parents and all you other athletes that want to be hypocrites saying you want to allow your kids to play when it's the most safest. Yeah, wait for them to get in high school and face that 290-pound junior and senior, and this kid's never played a game of football in his life as a freshman in high school. But yeah, there's no problem with him being knocked out by that side of beef. But oh, a little 20-pounder that runs 2 miles an hour and exerts a blow the size of maybe the maximum of power of a fly swatter. Oh yeah, no, we don't want them to play that. We want them to play when they're 15, 16 and hit high school. Right out the gates, throw them to the wolves. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. And anyway, if anyone has a comment to say that I'm wrong, post it. We'll talk about it. We'll get you on the show, whatever it takes. Because we're here for you. So right now, J Real's going to sign out. Remember, contact the Player Zone, 575-257-0559, and say, we want to get involved with the No Bully Zone. Send us our sticker, send us our little plaque to put in our window of our business, home, and cars, because we want to help stop the bullying. But for now, J Real's going to say have a great weekend. Peace and much love. God bless. We'll see you on Tuesday's show.